where we're going to see the A-Team go up against RPG, for example, and CE. The A-Team will get 2 chances to try and redeem themselves and get some points, whereas BTG had to play against KT, so potentially some more points to gather there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to board the next plane to the Infernal Shrines, because we're going to get taken there just in a few minutes from now. So, Infernal Shrines, that could be another good game for Alex Strasser. We just saw Druid on that hero just perform admirably well. Druid, in my opinion, is probably someone we need to talk a little bit more about as well. You know, for the longest period of time, we had supports in China dominating. Supports like 365, supports like ZZH, right? Even ZJZ to a certain extent. But we never really talked about Druid and how much of a diverse player he has become.
Yeah, I mean, he was very focused on Malfurion and Alex Strasser originally. He still seems to prefer those, but he's actually got that little bit of flexibility. Like you said, I still don't think he's as flexible or even as good as some of the other sports in the scene, but I still think he's very strong.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of skill and a lot of communication skills, in fact, to not only go for the Lifebounder in a match where you don't have a Cho'Gall in your team, where it's not really, you know, super common to do it, but then especially when there's a Medivh in your team, right? You have this beautiful synergy between shielding and healing, and if that one is executed properly, then it's going to be nigh impossible for the enemy team to kill a focus target, to blow up to pieces immediately, right? Because there's this Medivh shield, boom, that absorbs so much damage, and just when that shield wears off and the enemies might actually continue to focus on that target, you're going to drop that beautiful Lifebinder, and the target is going to be back to good shape.
We'll see if that gets picked, because once again, we are on Infernal Shrines. So this is where we would expect to see the Alex Strasser. So we got to wait to see if BTG are going to pick that up early. It would not surprise me, because as we already mentioned, Druid likes it. It's a good hero. No issues. But Deckard's available. So that's where the question comes in.
Deckard Cain is available. They still show full confidence and pick the Alex Strasser first. Now, Deckard Cain, funnily enough, oftentimes counters the Alex Strasser with a well-placed and well-timed Emerald Cube. So it wouldn't surprise me if the A-Team picks up Deckard immediately now, because I can almost guarantee you guys it is going to be a Deckard Cain third ban if A-Team doesn't pick it right away. There we go.
And that is interesting, because unfortunately, Druid does not have a great Deckard Cain win rate. 25%, in fact.
Ooh.
His Alex Strasser one is at 50%. So
that's
it's at
crazy.
Least average. Yeah, Malfurion is, of course, significantly higher, 61%, which is why we said it is his favorite.
He is the Druid after all.
He is exactly the Druid indeed. He's never played Karazim. He's never played Stukov.
At least on the broadcast, right?
Yes.
Just for this phase, or in his career?
Looks like just this phase, since he's been on this particular team at BTG.
Yeah. Right. I think Lokhtar also seems to have found his baby girl. I was going to say, like, the last 2 or 3 games in a row, he was always to be found on that Irel. Not only does it show his resilience to always play the same hero and not even having any issues with it, but also it shows his prowess on that hero, right? Because BTG has yet to lose a single game in this current phase, and as long as Lokhtar is on that Irel, they're looking mighty fine.
Yeah, and we were talking very quickly about the win rates of Druid, and the fact is, he is very obviously, if you compare him to someone like the side of the A-Team, he is so focused onto Malfurion, as we see Stugos in this case picking up the Deckard Cain, which is very common. But the fact is, Stugos actually has pretty decent win rates on pretty much every support, well, actually except for Deckard Cain and for Karazim, but everything else is like 50 or above win rate.
Huh. Interesting. The Lord of Numbers, Thatcher, has reappeared, and I'm loving it, giving us some really good insight on that. Especially the A-Team. You know, we mentioned them being one of these upcoming teams, up-and-coming teams. Really cool to see how flexible they have become as well. And Genji, yeah, I mean, what else can we say, right? It's pretty late in China up to this point. I think it's probably 11 o'clock at night. So I'm not sure if they willingly let Genji go through or if it was just slept over. But yeah, Genji last pick, ladies and gentlemen. He is there, making it a double Shimada draft for BTG.
I mean, that's pretty scary. Now, how are the A-Team going to be able to deal with that? What can they pull out? They already have a fair amount of CC. Like, it's not the worst in the world in terms of trying to lock down that Genji, but you got to be on point with your reaction times to punish that.
Oh yeah, for sure. You really need to have your lightning speed reflexes going. Oh man, the A-Team, it would be such a nice success for them to actually tie this out. And so many times, so many games did we doubt them. Did we say, oh, come on, man, the A-Team, they don't stand a chance, right? They don't have the player material, they don't have the experience. But with those recent playoffs and their current showing in the league, all of that has changed. And there we go. We see the final a final look here at the draft. Jimmy is there, Garrett is there, Leoric even. Why can't they make it? Let's see. We're going into Infernal Shrines. On the left-hand side, it is indeed the strongest looking team at the moment in China, beyond the game, with LLK, Loktar, Druid, Dancing, and 619 representing them.
And now on the right-hand side, it is the A-Team with Jada, Olele, Stugos, Yitzcook, and Bruiser coming in. Bruiser, not the most impactful of solo laner warriors until level 20. This is a concern of mine.
Yeah, Leoric needs a little bit of time to really, you know, establish that power level that he's so known for in the late game with the Burning Despair. If he decides to go that route, he's going to be able to deal an absurd amount of damage around him. But also Bruiser is a player that we highlighted earlier when we were casting the one, right? The Illidan Master up to this point.
A couple shots coming in. Nice scatter arrow diving onto Garrosh to start off is an unusual strategy. Nice little groundbreaker there as Druid actually is going to eat a lot of damage. Yorick going for the chase, but Bruiser is the first to fall. Cube! Triangle! Druid's out.
And the chill, the nerves as well on Druid to actually mount up there when the scroll of ceiling was so close to actually reaching out to him. And once again, we see exactly what happened in game number 1 on BOE. The A-Team is getting caught in those skirmishes, in those early brawls, without being able to securing those kills. And Bruiser is going to die again. Leoric is back in town, so you better watch your steps. Loktar, though, okay, at least they get a little bit of a consolation prize here. So Uriel died, but that was 4 kills to 1. Still mighty worth it for Beyond the Game.
Very nicely done indeed, as Beyond the Game take a lovely lead. Look at this, LLK positioning himself, trying to body block Yitzcook, who is in fact himself looking to try and throw LLK. He actually gets the throw. LLK, bit too brave there.
All right, looks like there's a little bit of a gentleman's agreement going on between those two teams. They just want to have fun in the early game. Still, so the overall kill count is now 4-2, but as you can see, guys, you know, we lull a lot about those early kills and deaths, right? We're like, oh my goodness, why would they brawl so much? But as long as you stabilize back in time, these experience gains are not actually going to be that massive, right? Experience is dead even up to this point. So yeah, nothing really changed, but teams should definitely start to become a little more cautious and careful as time goes in.
Well then, this is... that was a little bit unfortunate for BTG. They're still miles ahead with 4 kills to 2 at this stage as Yitzcook comes in very aggressively again. Then I'm going to come help him because he could maybe raid that camp. With 619 zoning though, that's going to be enough to force him to retreat.
That's going to force him to retreat for sure, but as long as Decker Kane is in there, there should be enough potions on the ground to keep Garrosh in good check. Going to be dealing with those mercenaries, and they actually have slightly better timing themselves because this shrine is going to get activated in 24 seconds. If they now close the rotation from the bottom, they could even prevent A-Team from immediately dealing with those siege camps. Nice Junkrat concussion mine though, actually dealing quite handsomely with those.
Yeah, doing a pretty good job, but he's surviving for the moment. As is Dancing, who ate a little bit of damage too. Shuriken Mastery coming in for Genji for the second time as we await both teams. Oh, hang on. Move in onto that Junkrat. Concussion mine, though, just too good from Jada.
Oh, and now all of a sudden it is Dancing on Genji, who's getting flung into the backline, but the healing is good for now. His brother Hanzo, in the meantime, trying his best to really clear as many skeletons as possible. Leoric in trouble, gets punched left and right, and not even the Wraith Walk is going to save the Skeleton King.
They move further forward. Loktar looking to zone them away. Good scatter arrows. 18-13. A-Team not done yet. Toss onto 619, who dives into the backline. They're looking for Jada, and they're gonna get him. It's gonna take a while though, because those Decker potions are pretty on point.
Are they gonna get him? Yes, they are.
Yeah. Total Mayhem though. Lockdown takes a lot of damage. He might die for this.
He might die indeed. The chase is on. The A team is not defeated yet. The Dragon was actually interrupted by Jimmy's penetrating round, and Jimmy was also the poor thug who even dared touch the queen of the Red Dragon fight. So yeah, all of a sudden, although they took some early casualties, it is the A team who has won the team fight, but not the objective. Beyond the game is going to get some pretty important aid of that purple Punisher.
Yeah, that's definitely going to help. Now, how much structure damage can they get from this? Genji and Yrel both rotate into lanes, not exactly known for their siege damage, but then again, neither is Hanzo, as he begins to have to move around to try and help 619. Finishes simple geometry in the process, though.
Yep, the Punisher, of course, being leashed over the wall here and probably getting dealt with pretty handsomely. In the meantime, we see two heroes off beyond the game soaking. Yrel in the middle and Genji in the top lane. There's only so much one Leoric can do, right? Yrel is probably already trying to dismount him, so that a little bit of minion experience will slip through his grasp. Yeah, pretty good defense by the A-team. They lost a couple of towers. No heroes, though. And as such, the game is still pretty much even.
Yeah, it's not terrible for them at all, as now we see a Drain Hope from Bruiser onto Loktar, trying to force him out of lane. But yeah, the A-team, they're still fine. They hold their structures, everything is good. They can grab their Impaler cams if they time it well. Again, another great Drain from Bruiser, sustaining through the engage.
Really love level 7 talent choice coming in from Leoric as well. Hopelessness, of course, increasing the range of Drain Hope pretty significantly. So in the case of Yrel knocking him back the full distance, he's probably still going to be able to leech at least a little bit of life from them. 619 trying to make that play happen against Raynor. Uses E immediately, uses that Redland shot immediately, so they don't even get the chance of taking him down.
He's cook. Just burning through the camp. No rush there as the game slowed down significantly. Everything is a lot calmer at this stage. BTG is still slightly ahead, but the A-team, they're waiting for their opportunity. Level 10 would be ideal, and that's what they're trying to get here. Although Leoric appears to have found some friends. Brave Walk, good ability, though.
Friends?
Friends? No, can't do it today. Too deep voice today.
Yeah, with all of her casting and screaming and whatever you want to call it, our voices are starting to take a little bit of a toll here. Just like Garrosh, who's completely surrounded by what is definitely not friendly units around him. So beyond the game, take down the Garrosh, get a little bit of extra XP. Leoric was nowhere near to make this a balanced fight 5 versus 5. He was busy sarking and D-pushing, so can't really blame him too much. Level 10 would have hit earlier anyways for BTG, and with that advantage in their pockets, they're definitely going to try to get some of those structures done. Level 10 is not here yet, though. We still need to wait a tiny little bit longer.
It was a good dodge by Olele to stop the Stormbot hitting him as we hit level 10 for BTG. We're seeing fairly standard stuff here. No cheeky dragon strikes or anything. May we see a cheeky dragon blade? That is the question.
I don't see the problem with it, to be honest. I don't see any cocoons or any knockbacks, any super long stuns to, make Genji waste a lot of its duration. And he does indeed go for the dragon blade. So I'm digging it.
Yeah, we got Dragon Arrow and Dragon Blade combined, basically, so that should be fun, because only a Shimada can control the dragons. And Alexstrasza looks on and giggles as we see the camp being taken pretty quickly.
I was just imagining Genji and Hanzo controlling Alexstrasza like a puppet, with strings left and right, and they're gonna...
Oh, I just imagined her looking at them just like... Fools, how dare you. As we see the root landing onto Genji, they're turning it round, but Genji escapes.
Unfortunately, there was no follow-up for that taunt. Otherwise, that would have been a dead Genji for sure. Murden, not only does he get the stun, but he also completes his Storm quest. And there we go. Leoric with a Hail Mary, with a last-ditch effort. He tried to stay alive at March of the Black King, but in the end, he ended up falling. And he will be back. Don't you worry. Look at that resurrection bar. Is it going to be in time to prevent this Punisher from getting taken over by Beyond the Game yet again?
Dragon Arrow comes out. Huge dive. Not even using the Dragon Blade here. Finally using it. Genji dives through. Kills off Junkrat. Eats a fair amount of damage, but is going to survive. Camp is taken. And this is awesome. Very nice play as they begin to move forward once again. They might even dive for Stugos here as Punisher comes over the wall. Looks like in fact they're going to go for Eats Cook.
Eats Cook. Took the fountain, has Decker Kane nearby as well. I don't think Garrus is going to fall today. But we have to talk about Leoric here, Tetcher. I know, you know, dying is part of Leoric's kit and it's part of his plan. Not supposed to die this much.
If someone was going to die, it might as well be Leoric. But can I just say, can we agree that 90% of all March of the Black Kings go that way?
Yep.
It's like every single time someone's like, oh, I'm going to take March of the Black King, I'm going to do some really good damage and sustain. But 90% of the time, you're going to use March of the Black King when you're on like 25% health, get like 2 swings off and die.
Yeah, it's almost like Leoric can't control his body parts anymore. You know, they got a little rusty, and his brain, his skull is aware of this is basically leading towards his doom, but his legs won't listen, his arms won't listen anymore, and he still keeps on marching. So, yeah, it's a double-edged sword, right? Sometimes it actually helps you to cut some distance. Sometimes it helps you to stay alive, but also quite frequently, actually, it will be your demise in doom. 619 goes in for another engage onto Garrosh, the Lornado, though, preventing any further damage.
Actually pushes away some of the minions as well, so they've run out of minions for this fort, but they've already taken it down. Health damage is still just enough. They move up towards the center of the map, as there is a Junkrat there. They wouldn't mind forcing him back, but Jaina just remounts and backs away.
So I like what the A-Team is trying to do here. They're playing very passively. It's been a while since they were last getting caught in this game, right? And Infernal Shrines is a very forgiving map if you fall behind early, right? It's normally going to be pretty hard for the enemy team to rush for an early keep. So what they are doing right now is basically just stay safe, let Leoric soak a little bit of it. Even if Leoric was to get caught again, first of all, it wouldn't be that much of experience for the enemy team, and secondly, he would also come back a little sooner. So the moment 13 is there, I really hope for them to make an aggressive move, though, because if they're going to play that slow game, eventually BTG is going to out-talent them yet again, 16 to probably 13 or 14. So if they want to make a move, they need to wait for the 13. But guess what Beyond the Game is doing? Murden blocking House here with his feisty dwarven body. And together, with combined efforts, they take down Garrosh.
He's down, dancing and locked up from the side. Bruiser dropping very low, but survives good. Stormbot onto Raider with a Dragon Arrow as well. Can they finish the job? Riptide against a 3-man, but it doesn't look like they want to die. Even with the Hanzo vision, they realize they can't get the kill. Genji has to use Swift Strike to get out of there, thanks to a nice concussion mine by Jaina.
Oh, Murden is not done yet. The double stun, the Irrel slow is real. The Dragon Blade is slicing and rending its way to victory, but the disengage so far for the A-Team is pretty darn okay because of that fort actually zoning out the enemy team and preventing them from using their full movement freedom.
Yeah, so far, BTG in that fight in particular weren't actually able to get anyone low enough to finish the job. Very curious to see here, as BTG, they stay in the exact same spot.
Sometimes the charm.
Cook knows.
There's just no way they're going to get this kill now, right? Oh, look at their face checking.
Come on. Stugos. It's Stugos.
Oh.
They got him. Third time's the charm, but can they get punished for it? They toss in. Taunt was used, but Hanzo escapes because his jump was used first. Genji barely survives. 619 just stands in the March of the Black King and just doesn't care about it. Locktar, the only one in any kind of danger now, but a double stun by Muradin, and they are out there.
LLK, by the way, with eagle eye accuracy. He is landing arrow after arrow. There is hardly an ability that he misses, whether it's the scatter shots or the storm bows. So super cool to see him dominate these team fights from a safe distance, right? He's also the first one to arrive at the objective. LLK, man, this guy is definitely a rising star in China to definitely be on the lookout for. And as you said, Tetra, right? Third time's the charm. At some point, the A-Team just needs to be aware of this. Send in a cube in there to prevent the face checking. Stugos unfortunately didn't do that. And as such, it was Decker Kane who fell.
And with Decker Kane falling, he is back now, but he's going to have to be defending his team. Bot lane is going to be under pressure. A couple potions already down there. 3 people rotated top to push up the lane and try and punish Genji. They don't even get close to getting Genji. Get him to just over half health.
Yeah, okay, so without Genji in the mix, I don't think they can go for too much of an aggressive play here. The moment Genji rejoins his teammates, though, they can definitely try to set something up. So Genji, they're probably going to be happy with getting the tower line, maybe a little bit of extra damage onto the keep. He's rotating right now, dancing that is. Let's see how patient or how greedy Beyond the Game wants to play this. Garrosh already caught, already slowed, already alive.
Yeah, Garrosh escapes with the Lornado coming out. They begin to move forward. A little bit of extra harassment applied.
A-Team, they stay alive for now. They get rid of this Immortal. But this is something we've seen from Chinese games multiple times now. After, you know, the objective has been caught, they're still refusing to let go. They're still trying to get something done. Jump over the wall. Genji follows in with a cyber agility as well. Are they going to be able to find a target here? No. Instead, it is the Root coming in from Deckard Cain.
Arrow from very, very close. March of the Black King gets some decent damage, but the Ardent Defender blocks most of it. Riptide coming in here. Can they capitalize off it? No, it does not gain much value.
Look at that anti-healing though on Muradin, preventing a lot of the value here coming in from Stoneskin and the healing Vial Extras. But now it's gone. They can actually juice back up. Olele getting bullied by Genji, getting executed by Genji. Slice and dice. No more reset though on the Swift Strike because those Dragon Blade changes, but he still gets to safety anyway.
Yeah, it's still pretty nice. Was able to get a lot of damage output there. The keep, though, still stands. They're just farming kills at this point because they keep running out of minions. Doesn't matter who they kill, there's enough wave clear on the A-Team to make this push always annoying.
And that is mostly because of Junkrat and his superior wave clear, right? But if they find more kills, even the best of Junkrat cannot really keep these, this onslaught under control anymore.
Finally, the keep begins to look a little bit lower, and they're able to finish it off using that Dragon Queen. Now, can they make more? They're diving onto Yitzcook. He's dropping very low. Genji dashes. Dominable is used. Nice potions by Deckard Cain. Might be enough, and there's a punishing play attempting to go onto 619 here. So Lord Nado pushes Locktar pretty far forward.
But he's Irel, and Irel leaps to freedom for now. They're running out of mana slowly but surely as well on some of their heroes. Most importantly, 619 on Muradin, who's now completely empty and sober. Are they going to reinitiate, though? I mean, this fight has been going on for quite a while here. At some point, even BTG will have to retreat. Right here comes the Riptire. Only hits Hanzo.
Still a fair amount of damage. Muradin is getting taunted. He is in trouble. He doesn't have Avatar. He did have Avatar, but he didn't use it. Finally gets taken out.
Guys, this team fight had been raging on for so long. We saw 2 iterations of the Cleansing Flame, and this ability comes with a pretty hefty 90-second cooldown. But it's just HGC China sometimes, you know? The teams are trying to find every kill possible. They don't really care about the macro game too much sometimes, about the rotations, about taking mercenary camps and stuff. And while it works in their own respective league, well, on events like Mid-Season Brawl or the Eastern Clash, Korean teams will actually abuse and punish that super hard.
Yeah, it was so weird. What was the purpose there? Were they thinking of getting a full team wipe?
Yeah.
I don't understand what that was. Like, yeah, they were getting XP. Yeah, they were denying anything else elsewhere on the map. But the objective's going to be spawning in mid lane. They could have maybe rotated top and start split pushing there, let catapults accumulate bot lane. But no, they just stand there and lose Muradin. Muradin is now back and will be coming to join his team.
Yeah, and once again, I can't help but feel that against other teams, international teams, this kind of behavior, which is also very predictable in the first place, so teams will know by now how Chinese teams like to play, is really getting punished, especially by top-tier Korean and European teams. So let's see what they can achieve now. A strong Dragon's Arrow, the Dragon Blade as a follow-up.
Root onto Genji as well. They try to focus through. The Hyperion's done some good damage to Dancing. It's everyone is dropping low on both sides. Actually, Scatter Arrow is causing chaos into the front, into the back line. Once again, Stugos just shucks out as many potions as he can as everyone from the A-Team pulls back to Fountain.
Yeah, Cleansing Flame will be here soon, so that is going to be a nice ounce of extra AoE healing. Here goes the Dragon Queen. Cleansing Flame is being held up to this point, but look at that Dragon keeping everybody safe. Bruiser goes down yet again. Leoric is going for those double digits. Let's see if Iskuk is going to live. Not for now.
Yeah, Taunt, just please kill me, attack me as he goes down. Jada is the last surviving member, gets Scatter Arrowed, and they're going to be able to push through this. They could even skip this if they wanted to. Well, some of them can. All but one of them could jump over a wall, because Alex has used Cleansing Flame. She could skip the wall.
Yes,
they could have just gone here, but they're just going to get the keep as well.
Thatcher, you got to go for the extra XP, right?
I mean, I actually would prefer them to go straight for core.
Yes. They really should. Leoric is back. The others will be in 10 seconds from now. Now, it doesn't matter. Leoric is probably going to say goodbye for one final time here. That March of the Black King doesn't do anything. The Punisher's busy killing minions, but it'll be knocking on the core very shortly. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, with a stellar, greedy yet stellar performance by Beyond the Game, they're going to go home, walk away with another 3-pointer, securing and manifesting their lead even more at the pole position of HGC China.
Very effective. BTG 9 points in HGC China, achieving another 3 points here. Well done. Commiserations to the A team, but they have plenty more opportunities to get some points for themselves.